Did you know with just a couple clicks in D5 Render, you can create a spatial tour, which is a 360 tour for your clients to explore, and it's all hosted on the web. Check this out. You can specify different hotspots, render those out, and that becomes part of the tour. Very easy for anyone to use. This can be used on a tablet, a phone, and even desktop. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works so you can set it up and deploy your first spatial tour. So let's get right into it. So to get started with a spatial tour, all you have to do is open up your D5 project and set up some scenes. And now, big disclaimer here, make sure you're in regular perspective and not 2-point perspective. It won't work, it'll destroy your 360 and it won't look good. Then you go over to tour and you hit the plus button. We are going to be doing a spatial tour today, not an XR tour. That's the Gaussian splat. That's a whole nother video, whole nother beast. So let's go ahead and hit spatial tour. Then we're going to get this thumbnail. You can have multiple projects. So I'm going to go ahead and hit edit. Once I do that, the UI is going to change. I'm going to see a couple things in my viewport. This right here, this is basically letting you know if you're looking up or down. Think of the pink as your horizon line. You can kind of see my horizon line right there. That's basically telling you if you're eye level or not. Basically, are you looking down or are you looking up? So that way people don't get disoriented when you drop them into a hotspot, right? So I generally like the look of this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit either add current position here or add position here. They do the same exact thing. Then you can see I've got this little circle on my cursor. I can click anywhere on the project. I'm going to click somewhere near, so that way a viewer could see the next hotspot and go there. And I'm just going to position it in a way where it's semi-interesting. I'm going to do something like this, looking towards the lobby. I'm going to hit that, and I'll do one more right here. Let's look here. And now I can go ahead and add an interior one in my lobby. So I'm going to hit add current position. That way I've got a couple options. I'll add one more over here. The idea is you want to add a bunch of hotspots so it's easy to hop around your project. Too little hotspots and you're not going to get enough coverage, and your dollhouse view is going to look a little weird. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means in just a moment. Then I'm going to go ahead and rename all these by double clicking this. And this is exposed to the client, so you want this to make sense. So I'm going to say, front, I'll call this side street, driveway, lobby, and we'll say main entrance. And in my opinion, I think main entrance should be before the lobby. So all I have to do is click and drag, and there you go. Once you've done this and you're happy, pay attention to these settings right over here. You're going to see something that says auto rotation. I highly recommend you turn this off. This is what auto rotation does. I've got a sample here, and you can see how it's just spinning. Well, it's kind of annoying when you want to focus on something and then it just starts spinning. You can delay it so it pauses, it's frozen, and then it starts. But I find it kind of distracting and I don't really like it. So I'm going to be turning that off, but I want you to see what that is. So I'm going to turn that off, and that is going to go ahead and apply on all these. You can see that right here. The other thing you can change is the color of your little circle cursor here. I highly recommend doing like a bright color because something dark makes it really hard to see. So something in the brighter vein makes sense. When that's all done and you've created your views, let's go ahead and hit done. And now we're going to have our rendering mode open up. It's now going to be white. I can click that. And now I have the choice of saving this somewhere. I'm going to go with the default location that's in my document. And then it's asking about the resolution. In my opinion, for 360s panoramas, 4K is too little in terms of resolution. This is 4K, just to show you. You see how blurry that is? This is why I don't think it's a good use. If you're zoomed out all the way, it's fine. If you start to zoom in, it kind of falls apart, right? So I highly recommend you bump it up to 8K. It is going to take longer. So if you just want to do a test preview, go with 4K. Totally fine, just to see what it's like. But if you want quality, 8K is really good. 16K is amazing, but it's going to take a long time, right? You're basically like exponentially increasing your render times. So I'm going to go ahead and go with 8K, and I'm going to select all the views I want. I'm going to hit all so that I can select all these quickly. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit render. This is going to take about 10 minutes or so. And you can see my viewport's already changed and it's focusing on the front. And now this percentage bar represents 100%, but divided by the amount of images. So image 1 is up to 20%. If you're curious, it's not like the progress for one image is the whole bar. It's broken up as the whole task, right? So all 5 images equals 100. Once the rendering is done, you're going to see that all the images now have a little check mark. That just means they've been rendered out. Right down here, this is the storage location of where the local file is going to be saved in case you want to share it that way. First, we just want to check out how this looks, and then once we're happy with everything, we can share it with a colleague. So I'm going to go over here and hit preview. And there we go. Here's our 360s. If I want to go to another hotspot, all I have to do is click this guy right here, and it'll take me to the next scene. There you go. And this is all 8K, so it looks beautiful. And these are the names, right? So it says driveway, main entrance, and lobby. So you can see, it doesn't take too long at all. We can also view this in the dollhouse. So that's this 3D mode here. This is going to look better the more images you have. Keep in mind, we only did an image from here and here, so that's why it's kind of blobby. But if you do a lot more images, it's going to look a lot better. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. I'm going to stick to 2D because it just looks better that way, right? You also have a VR mode. So if you go to a VR headset and you load up this file, you can actually view it in VR, which is kind of neat. If that was VR, then you can make it full screen. Check that out. And then you can shrink this. So right now this is running locally, so I can't just give this URL to somebody, right? There's two ways to share it right now. So if you go back over here to D5, you can hit share. Now watch this. It's gonna ask you for a cloud project. I've got one here. I'm just gonna call this ST, and this is gonna go to your show reel in D5. And I'll show you exactly what that is. So it's gonna publish this to the D5 cloud, so it's hosted on them. So you basically grab the URL, you share it with a client, and they can access it. They don't need a file. If you want to deal with a file, that's what this storage location guy is. So check this out. I had this saved to my documents. If I open this up, go to Windows, this is that virtual tour. So this is how you would go ahead and share it. But I find it much easier if you just share a link. I'm going to go ahead and click this, and now the tour is right here. So if you don't believe me, I can just do Control-C, open up a new tab, Control-V, and there you go. Same functionality as before. You've got your scenes here. I can go here, boom, 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 and it works beautifully. So very similar to the preview mode, but it looks a little bit more refined. We also have some extra functionality here. This is a short link generator. So if I hit share right now and then hit share link, I can also generate a QR code. But when I do this and then I do Control-V, see how much shorter that is? So it makes it a little bit easier to share. So it's not as long. Then you can also enable rotation if you want that effect, but I find it really, really distracting. So just turn that off. You can also leave comments as well if somebody has a comment on the project. All in all, very super useful tool and super easy to get started with. Like, we're talking about a couple clicks, rendering, and then you're ready to go, right? So if you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And if you made it this far, please consider subscribing and liking the video and channel. Really helps me out. See you next time.